Hello, in this video I'm going to talk about the importance of building rapport at the beginning of a customer success or sales call, as well as talk about the things that have been going on in my life. And for those of you who do not know me, my name is Duncan Alderdice, and the reason I'm making these videos is to document the journey I take as I become who I am by making small improvements to my life every single day. So the main topic of discussion is because I have signed up because I'm building a coaching program, and so I wanted to taste, if I'm building a shop that makes sandwiches, let's taste other people's sandwiches. So subscribe to a different service that also offers accountability coaching, see what other people are doing, what other people pay for, things I can learn to do, to not to do, whatever. At this point, I think I'm going to be canceling the subscription because I've learned all I need to learn and I'm not really getting much from it. And I think the reason is not a testament to the program. The program is delivering on what they promised, but I don't think I wanted specifically what they were promising. But specifically, the call that was yesterday, it was tough because what it opened up with was like hello and then confirming the time that was going to be the next meetup time. And then it seemed it didn't seem personal at all, which was the vibe I got the initial time. As well as the person kept saying my name, over a 30-minute call, probably mentioned my name somewhere between 14 and 20 times. Just more that it was every time they spoke, they were going to say it. Potentially maybe that's helpful for some people. I personally found it just kind of comforting. But for me, specifically at the beginning, it wasn't hey, haven't spoke to you in a week, let's reconnect kind of thing, but we're straight to business, when's the next kind of thing, you're just going through a process, which might be useful, maybe you just want to go through that process, but I kind of wanted, what I'm trying to build to is the fact that I didn't feel like I didn't trust the person I was speaking to. I didn't feel like they were actually listening. I felt like they were just more responding with questions. And the consequence of that is when they were trying to go well, let's brainstorm ideas, I'll be a soundboard for you. I'm curious. They kept saying the same things, I completely understand, I completely hear you. Which for me, specifically on an actual coaching call, in the context of a sales setting is different because those rules make sense. But on the coaching call, specifically getting me to open up and talk about the things the ideas I have for a YouTube about video and where the direction I want to take things. I felt a tremendous amount of resistance to it. And so when they gave me the opportunity to kind of speak on it, I blanked. And I said I was blanking, I normally have ideas, but just nothing's coming to me right now, which was a lie because it wasn't that I was blanking it, but I didn't feel comfortable sharing that. I didn't, there was no trust. I kind of it just more going, simply inviting me to brainstorm isn't enough to get me to brainstorm or the persons. And I kind of felt resistance to it because I didn't really like the person that I was speaking to. So it's I didn't want to be on the call. So which just gave me a more visceral understanding of why it's important to make the person you're speaking feel heard and comfortable and their opinion mattered, and not just saying, I'm not gonna judge you. I'm just here to I'm curious. I'm really just want to know. Saying it isn't enough, and saying it doesn't make it to be true. And I didn't feel like I was being listened to. Now, that's it sounds harsh, and I don't want I'm not mentioning the name of the company or whatever. If the call felt like there was a particular process that they were just kind of pumping me through, which is set 3 goals, set time for those goals, you have someone holding you accountable for that. It's okay, well, they delivered on that, but I don't think that's actually what I want. I think what I'm looking more for is someone who is in a similar position to me giving advice on it. That's what they said going, because it was talking about the YouTube channel, and they said I work with plenty of people on their YouTube thing. And I'm going no, but don't give yourself a false sense of authority. And why it's a false sense of authority is because unless they have built a YouTube channel and it's a more successful YouTube channel than mine, which mine isn't a particular success, but unless there's that discrepancy between where mine is and where there is, there's no reason. The answer to the question of why should I listen to you is, there's no reason to. Like, yes, you may work with other people, but if you work with other people, you just have the same amount of information that I do who has a vested interest in it. Whereas if it's someone who's like, I have built a YouTube channel and have videos that have tens of thousands of views on it, it's like, okay, well, my channel doesn't have that. So then now that's why I'm listening, like, what can I gain from that? But I found it interesting not feeling comfortable sharing the ideas and actually being resistant to it. And like didn't really, and then so where that translates is I think I'm going to, on the calls I have, even in a sales context, do a better job building rapport at the beginning. And like I have been just kind of getting down to business, but it would be worthwhile to, like, the tough part is I don't know how to quantify it, but like it would be worthwhile to make the person feel like it's not a trap, it's not a process. I'm actually a human being, I genuinely care. So that they feel comfortable talking about their business. Because like talking about your business or the ideas I have for a YouTube video, it's not a particularly personal thing, which is why I found it strange that I was resistant to it. But so that's that. It was interesting to know how that had turned out. And I mean, like, well worth the money in terms of the lessons I'm learning, like of going like, okay, so I'm curious whether if it was a video call, would it be different? I believe it would. I also think that it's strange talking to one person who sells me on the program and then that be different from the person whose is the actual program. Like there's a disconnect there. Like I'm going, if I set it up, then like the person who sells is also the person who helps. Which then it's what is tough is like, because in any sort of coaching business, the bottleneck is the actual coach themselves. Like they have to be good. And if they're good enough, they might not need to necessarily want to stay working for somebody else. All things to think about. But just more, in essence, if you don't build trust, or don't make the person you're speaking to, whether on a sales or a customer success like coaching call, they're not going to. I think it's just more as just like having a more first person experience of it. So I gained a better appreciation for that. Other things that have happened today is I made 77 dials and booked a demo. Demo went well. Spoke with a bunch. It's St. Patrick's Day, but in July, so Independence Day, so nothing like St. Patrick's Day. But I was just calling Canadian advisors. But one guy booked, the call went well, went through qualification, had time, like it was a good call. I had barely certain they will show up and then we're in a growth mode. Everyone else that I connected with, nobody hung up on me with the cold call opener because I was sick. But everyone else was retired or at capacity. But again, doesn't matter. I think that's the other thing. I'm going to focus more on calling, not on LinkedIn, because I think I've been getting distracted with LinkedIn. In the beginning, people who I booked through LinkedIn did not, like, bought 40% of the time. And now that number has dropped, and like the show rate and the booking rate kind of is similar enough to calling that it's not obvious that it's better. And if it's not better, then I don't know. Maybe I just do a bit of it, but not spend as much time on it. Like spend a half an hour each day and limit it to that. Actually, that's not a bad idea. If I limit it to a half hour each day rather than a full Monday morning and a full this, full that. But did book a demo, so that was good. And as you can see in the background, this is the project that I've been working on, which is the cat tree. It's not fully complete yet, but we're getting there. I believe that is all I have for you right now. Yeah, Clementine Club, thanks for sticking around as always, and remember to believe in yourself because you're more capable of doing great things than you give yourself credit. I'll talk to you later. Today, we're gonna go take a look at